Hey guys, welcome back to Team Deathslinger. My name is Peter, and today we're looking at the other silly purple deck in the special release booster that we are getting pretty soon here. We're looking at Purple Hybrid, but we're not just looking at Purple Hybrid. We are going to look at a Chaos Gallantmon Magidramon version of Purple Hybrid because I can't cook normal decks. I have to do this silly shenanigans. So you guys are going to join me for that ride. So, for our eggs, we are on 4 copies of the BT16 Cupimon. On deletion, you can trash a card in your hand to gain 1 memory. This is just a good way to get memory. The Kojis are not memory setters, so this is going to be a way to make sure we have memory for our plays. I'm on 3 copies of ST16 Gabumon. Start of your main phase. If your opponent has a Digimon, you gain a memory, and the inheritable says when attacking, draw 1, trash 1. In my playtesting, this inheritable has not come up that much, but the start of main phase effect certainly does. This paired with the Cupimon is a free chip damage and positive 2 memory. And it sets up your trash. Really, really strong combination of a rookie and an egg. This can just guarantee you 3 memory by promoting this and swinging it and letting it die. Sometimes you get unlucky and it doesn't die. That is the downside to the Cupimon egg. If your rookie doesn't die when you swing it for the chip damage, you're kind of left hurting. But it can kind of be a positive later as you just get this chip damage in over the course of the game. 4 copies of the BT18 Lylemon. Your turn when this Digimon or any of your tamers would digivolve into a multicolored Digimon that is purple or yellow. Reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. This effect comes up so much. This is a clutch card. It costs 1 to Evo on a level 2, but honestly, I do not care. Sometimes I promote this guy and I just leave him on board. The opponent doesn't want to get rid of him because on deletion, I'm going to trash a card and gain a memory, and I just keep netting value off of his ability to reduce Evos on multicolored cards. It also has a Retaliate inheritable, but that comes up not very often. 4 copies of the BT16 Ukomon. When you promote, you reveal top 3, add a Digimon or Tamer to your hand, the rest goes bottom, then you hatch. Great for finding your Tamers. This is Purple Hybrid, we do need Tamers. And great for finding whatever Digimon piece you are missing for your hybrid plays, and then you chip it away and you get the Cupimon inheritable. So nothing to complain about with 4 copies of Ukomon. Moving on to level 4s. I'm on 4 copies of Duskmon from BT18. He evos for 3 on a level 3, 3 on a Tamer, or 2 on a Koichi, and 1 on a Velgarmon. So on play and when digivolving, until the end of your opponent's turn, you change one of their Digimon or Tamers into a color other than white. So we're doing some color changing. This is impactful because a lot of our cards here are generic color evolution requirements, unless you are playing like a protagonist line and it can evo on a specific Digimon. So this kind of turns off evos unless you're on a named evolution. So that is the important thing here. When attacking, one of your Digimon or Tamers may digivolve into a level 4 card with hybrid from your trash with the Digivolution cost reduced by 1. And the inheritable says you may play a Tamer with a play cost of 4 or less from your trash without paying the cost. So the combo here is that we're going to evo this onto a Koichi, which should guarantee us 2 memory. And we're going to try and evo into this Velgarmon in the trash after changing a color, which says, on play and when digivolving for each color among your opponent's Digimon and Tamers, you will trash the top card of both players' decks. Then this Digimon gets 1k DP for each card trashed by this effect for the turn. And end of attack, you will delete 1 purple level 4 or lower Digimon, delete all of your opponent's Digimon at the lowest level, retaliate inheritable. So, you're swinging the Duskmon, evoing into the Velgarmon, changing a color. Ideally, they should have 2 or more colors. It's really easy to get 2 colors off of this. Both players will mill 2, so 4 cards mill total. Velgarmon gets plus 4k DP. You're swinging an 11k DP check, probably lives, and then you kill Velgarmon to itself at the end of attack. Duskmon triggers, you get a Tamer with play cost 4 or less from trash. That is your main cycle, as we're looking to spam in this deck. And we're going to do some really cool stuff with that, but that is our combo. Then we're on 3 copies of Lowymon for BT18. It evos 3 and 3 on Tamer and level 3. Koichi for 2, Kaiser Leomon for 0. When digivolving, draw 1, trash 1. Great way to dig for pieces. And when attacking, one of your Digimon or Tamers may digivolve into a purple or yellow Digimon card with hybrid trait in your trash. Inheritable says all turns when this Digimon would leave the battle area other than by your effects, you may play 1 Tamer card with inherited effects from this Digimon's Digivolution cards without paying the cost. So if you evo on top of Koichi into Lowymon, and you go to swing it and it would die, you get the Koichi back. So this is kind of a worse version of the Duskmon inheritable, but this does dig us an extra piece deep with the when digivolving, and that is the trade-off here. Additionally, Lylemon is going to reduce your evo cost by 1 for the Lowymon. Very good effect. Kaiser Leomon, I am only on 2 copies. It has Retaliate, and then on play when digivolving, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon, and it has Retaliate. This is effectively a way to dig for an extra piece by evoing it on top of the Lowymon, and I have it at 2 just because I really want it for the Rihimon warp plays. So that is kind of its main purpose and why it's only at 2 copies. Lastly, 1 copy of the EX4 Black Growlmon. This is important because we can mill away our Crimson modes with the Velgarmon effect, and that feels really bad. This is a way that we can actually grab those Crimson modes back, and because of the Lylemon effect, if it is on board, we can Evo into this for 2 instead of 3, and then it doesn't even feel that bad at all. So we're going to be able to trash 2 cards from both players' decks, and then return a Guilmon, Growlmon, Gallantmon from trash to hand. Our only targets are going to be Magidramon, Chaos Gallantmon, and Crimson mode, Ace. And then the Inheritable will grab us a piece back if this is in a stack, but it's really not going to be. For our level 5s, 3 copies of the BT7 Rihimon. This card, I feel like, is maybe a little bit underrated, at least in my group. I don't know if other people are running it. But when one of your Digimon with Tamer cards in its Digivolution cards digivolves into this card in your hand, you reduce the cost of the Evo by 2. So if you could do some kind of silly play where the Lyomon reduces your Lowimon Evo cost by 1, so you Evo on for 1 on top of Koichi, and then this goes on top of the Lowimon for 1. You are 2 memory in, and you're on level 5. Now we're primed to do some silly stuff. On deletion, if a card with hybrid is in its traits is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, you get to play a purple Tamer from trash without paying its cost. Another way to recycle Tamers if we have to swing this in, or it dies before we get to do something with it. Then we are on 3 copies of the BT18 Rihimon. Main, from your hand, you may place 1 Lowimon and 1 Kaiser Leomon from trash under one of your purple or yellow Tamers, and then it warps into this 4/3. This has jamming, and when digivolving, you play a Tamer with inherited effects from your trash without paying the cost. That's a fancy way of saying you're playing a Koichi off of this in this deck. And then the Inheritable says when attacking, you give something minus 4k. It can come up, not super frequently. The 4k usually isn't enough to get past anything that matters. You can remove Floodgates with this, though, which is really important because, as you can see, we have Jax Raid over there. So yeah, it's a good Inheritable. Then we're on 3 copies of the EX2 Magidramon. This card is also treated as Chaos Gallantmon. It costs 5 to Evo, but because of Lylemon, the clutch little lion, this guy just costs 4, which is still more than you want it to, but he just costs 4. When digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 10k DP or less. If nothing was deleted, we both mill 5. What we want from this is to mill 5, because that's going to make our Crimson mode big nasty, and it's going to turn our Jack raids online pretty quickly. On deletion, you play Guilmon and Takato from your hand or trash without paying the memory cost. We do not have Guilmon to play. Netting the Takato isn't bad, but the Duskmon can play Tamers regardless of color, so we're actually trying to net the Takato off of the Duskmon rather than this Magidramon. 1 copy of the EX4 Chaos Gallantmon because the end of turn effect is really good, because we can build up a lot of trash with the Magidramons and this funny Velgarmon loop. So by deleting one of your Digimon with Digivolution cards and Gallantmon in its name, you play this card from your trash. You delete one of your opponent's Digimon 7k DP or less. For every 10 cards in both players' trash, add 2k to the maximum DP. This can delete. If you have hit a Magidramon, you're going to automatically be able to pop 9k. So it's just a little bit of work to get to the extra 10 cards needed for this to really be effective at 11k. But with the Velgarmon loop, you're going to do the Velgarmon thing probably 2 or 3 times before you actually even get to the point where you're thinking about playing the Chaos Gallantmon. And by then there should be 22 or more cards in trash, and that's assuming you haven't killed anything with the Velgarmon. So this is totally doable, and it does come up sometimes. The 1 copy can feel weird because sometimes it's insecurity, but ratios are a little bit tight, so we're just kind of making do. This is obviously a great target for our Crimson mode Ace because you can pop the Magidramon, get the Takato, this goes on board. Next turn, if this has stuck, you just go into the Crimson mode Ace and you use the Blitz Takato to actually swing for game with the Crimson mode Ace. Speaking of Crimson mode Ace, here he is. On play, when digivolving, delete up to 15k total DP of your opponent's Digimon, and for every 10 cards in both players' trashes, trash the top card of your opponent's security. Just Magidramon alone turns this effect online, so you're going to be able to trash 1, check 1, and for the longer the game goes, the more likely that this is just a catastrophic ender for your opponent. So that is what he's here for. Traditionally, the Jack Raid, we're on 4 copies. You gain 1 memory for every 10 cards in your trash. This is used to enable the Merva loop. You want to be able to just get a ton of memory, play out the Merva without passing turn, and then do Merva things with that. What we're saying is we're going to Jax Raid and then either build a stack into this Rihimon for 2 memory in a perfect world, or just warp into this for 3. We're going to get into Magidramon for hopefully 4 if the Lylemon is on board. It's probably going to be 5. And then we are going to just Evo into the Crimson mode Ace and swing with Blitz with the EX2 Takato. So instead of a Merva combo, we are trying to use the Jax Raid to brute force into this Blitz check and hopefully just wipe your opponent's security. I have pulled this off. I know it's not just a funny meme, and I did actually wipe somebody for 4 security. So it is a really, really kind of, I feel like, overlooked play that you can do here. 2 copies of Matt Ishida. This is part of your purple hybrid loop. So when you get the Duskmon effect to play a Tamer, you play the Matt Ishida. Matt Ishida grabs back Duskmon. Now next turn, when your Matt Ishida no longer has the summoning sickness, you can Evo into the Duskmon and do the thing again. So On play, it's going to return a purple Digimon or option, and it is Mem Setter. I'm on 2 copies of the BT7 Koichi Security. You get to play this card, and then on play, draw 1, trash 1, and then on deletion, you gain a memory. Really good with the Duskmon as well, because it makes your whole combo basically cost 1 memory, which is fantastic. 4 copies of the BT18 Koichi. Start of your main phase, you trash a card with Hybrid or 10 Warriors to gain a memory, so this guarantees the 2 memory turn at least. And then when attacking, you can return a card with the Hybrid or 10 Warriors trait from trash to hand. It's a good way to recover Duskmons if they're sitting in trash, or to grab other pieces like a Warp Rihimon. Tends to be a good target for me to enable your Megidramon play after you're done chipping your opponent down. And then lastly, we have 2 copies of the EX2 Takato. When an opponent's Digimon is deleted, you can suspend this tamer to gain a memory. This actually already synergizes really, really well with Duskmon and Velgarmon, because Velgarmon wants to pop all of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. So this is going to just net you memory back off the Velgarmon plays. So it's not even bad to throw down early. And then it's going to give our Gallantmons or Growlmons Blitz, which is our Megidramons and our Crimson modes. If you feel like you don't have enough Koichis here, it is totally reasonable to go down to this, go down to 1 on this, and then go up to 3 on the Koichis. I usually do see my 2 copies of this, and if you really have to, you can pop this with your Chaos Gallantmon, get the free Takato that's chilling in trash, and then go for this play after. I do find that this ratio of Koichis works for me. If you are uncomfortable with it, just change that ratio, like I said, or you can cut something else to go up to 3 on the Koichi. But that is what we have cooked for, I guess, Chaos Gallantmon, Purple Hybrid, Megidramon hybrids, something like that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What are you doing with Purple Hybrids? I've got a couple of the things I want to try. I don't know if I'll post them on the channel, but I think the version of the deck that I'm going to wind up playing is probably going to be the old Cherubimon that plays out a bunch of level 4s. So let me know if you guys want to see that in the comments down below. But thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Thank you to our YouTube members for supporting this channel. It's people like Langlong and Big Z11 who make videos like this possible.